What's going on, guys? Brendan Vanson here, and today I'm talking about Instagram. More specifically, I'm talking about the way that photographers, or really anybody on Instagram, are gaming the system to grow their accounts. I hear a lot within the industry and even outside the industry that the only way to grow your account right now is by gaming the system. And while I think that's patently untrue, there might be some small truths to it. So today, I want to walk you through the process of how people are gaming the system. I do want to clear a couple things up before I get into this. The first is, I don't judge people. If people want to game the Instagram algorithm or whatever, I don't judge you. I understand that there was a lot of money changing hands, that there was a lot of people who got famous by gaming the Instagram algorithms. I don't judge you. And even though it might sound like I'm judging people on this because I get really excitable, I'm not judging anybody. The second thing is, be sure to subscribe to this channel right now if you're not doing it, because in a couple weeks' time, I'm going to put together a big, long video talking about how you can actually grow an authentic audience on Instagram without gaming the system, just with good content and with using tried and true methods that I think are totally ethical. Third of all, Jody's back there, so if you see her popping up every now and then, yeah, that's somebody there. It's not just a random hand. Finally, this video is sponsored by Auditor.com. Auditor.com is an app or a website that allows you to run any Instagram account and find out if they're authentic or if their audience is authentic. And you can actually find out if they're using any of these methods that I'm going to talk about. So if you're interested in that, at the very end of this video, I'm going to talk a little bit more in depth. And whenever there's a sponsored video on this channel, I give something back to you guys because I think that's how a community should work. I benefit, you benefit. So I'm going to give away, let's say $50, a $50 Amazon gift card to one of you guys. To win that $50, go to Instagram, upload a photo, hashtag it, hashtag BVS hype, and I'll search through, I guess, on tomorrow's episode and find a winner and give you $50. So let's get into this. I've jotted down 6 methods that people are using to game Instagram. I'm going to talk about them quick, what they are, how they're helpful, how they're harmful, devil's advocate, and if I've ever done it. The first is bots. Bots are kind of a common misconception. People think a bot means a fake account. But in reality, bot is more like a script that's run that can be used on totally authentic, or maybe not authentic, but totally real accounts. So for example, one of the best ways to grow on Instagram, and one of the things that Instagram themselves talk about, is engagement. And it's engaging yourself within the community, commenting on photos, liking on photos, and doing stuff. So what a bot will do is it'll do that for you. You get this software, a script, and it runs through and likes all the photos in a certain genre or niche or whatever. Let's pretend for the sake of this video that I have an account called Brendan's Cat, and it's just photos of my cat. So if I'm running bots for my cat account, what I might do is I might have my account like every single photo of, relevant posts that get posted via certain hashtags. So hashtag cats of Instagram, anybody that tags their photo hashtag cats of Instagram, Brendan's Cats likes it. My bot does. I don't do it. You can also run the bot to do things like comment and follow, unfollow. Is it helpful? Yeah, I guess it would be helpful because the eyes of so many people will see your account. For example, I think the limits on Instagram, and don't quote me on this because I don't know for sure, are about 200 likes an hour. So if you have a bot liking 200 photos an hour of a certain hashtag within your niche, that means potentially up to about 5,000 different accounts will see your name show up and your account show up in their notification tab. So it puts your account in front of the eyes of people within your niche. I guess it works. The harm is that you could get your account deleted. Instagram, in their terms and conditions, specifically says that you can't use any automated tools. So people do get caught doing this by automating different things. If Instagram catches on, they can delete your account. It doesn't matter if you've grown your account to 500,000 followers, they can delete it. That's the real harm. The other harm is that you can get caught doing some spammy stuff. For example, there's this friend of mine in the industry, in the travel industry, that generally posts really epic travel photos. But their grandmother died, and they posted a photo of their grandmother with a pretty sad story about the grandmother, and it was sweet but sad. Another travel company in the industry that everybody knew had a bot running. Nobody knew it until this happened, but had a bot running and left a comment under that photo saying, haha, this is awesome. You can leave yourself open to some really terrible things happen if you let robots run the world. So what does the devil's advocate say? The devil's advocate says it's marketing. You're marketing a brand, and this method allows you to get your brand in front of more people's eyes. Is it ethical? I don't think it is. I think it's spammy and inauthentic. Maybe it's not that it's not ethical. I think it's more just dishonest. Have I ever used bots? Yeah, I used bots about 4 years ago for a span of about 2 weeks or so. And I think I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I did use bots for 2 weeks. I felt dirty, I felt guilty, I felt spammy, and after that 2 weeks, I stopped and I never did it again. So 4 years ago, yeah, I did, and I'm always gonna be honest with you guys about this stuff. The second method that people use to game Instagram is they use a virtual assistant, and a virtual assistant's like a human robot. You can hire a virtual assistant from places like the Philippines or India or Bangladesh for as little as $2 to $4 an hour, and they can essentially do these same things that a robot would, that a bot would. They like photos, they comment on photos, they can follow, unfollow. So the benefit of this is that it's a little bit better than a robot. It's a human being that can stop from doing, the dangerous things like over-commenting, over-liking, and can stop you from leaving terrible comments and can leave more related comments to the photo that's there. Is it ethical? I think that this is the important thing. If you think using bots is unethical, then I think you have to think that using a virtual assistant is also unethical. Again, I think it's not unethical. I think that it's more dishonest. And I think it can become ethical if within your profile you say, Brendan's cats, photography of cats by Brendan, curated and engagement by Joe, for example. I think then it kind of becomes more ethical. In fact, a lot of travel photographers, a lot of really big photographers don't do their own social media. I don't believe Steve McCrory does his own Instagram. I'm sure almost that it's one of his assistants that's posting to social media. So again, if you think using bots is unethical, then using an assistant probably is unethical too. What's the harm? The harm is that it takes the social out of social media. The big reason people follow photographers on Instagram or Twitter or wherever isn't to see their photos. They could always go to their website. The reason is because they want to have contact with those photographers. They want the social aspect, and by using a virtual assistant or a bot, you take that social aspect out of social media. The devil's advocate is just the same as it was for the bots. It's about marketing. It's about getting your brand in front of as many eyes as possible. Have I used a virtual assistant? No, I haven't used a virtual assistant for anything, and that's mostly just because I have trust issues and because I'm a bit of a control freak. The third method is the one that everybody hates, the follow-unfollow game. The follow-unfollow game is the worst. The follow-unfollow game goes like this. Instagram allows you to follow about, let's say, 45 people an hour. It also allows you to unfollow 45 people an hour. So if you're Brendan's cat, you go to that hashtag cats of Instagram, or you go to a big Instagram account, and you just follow everybody involved in that niche. Every hour you follow, let's say, 45 people. And then, after a little bit of time passes, you do one of two things. You unfollow everybody that doesn't follow you back, or you just unfollow everybody that you followed. And everybody on Instagram hates this method. But what's the benefit of it? The benefit is that it works. The benefit is that people follow you back. If you have an account of 300-400 people and somebody follows you, it seems like a pretty big deal. You get pretty excited when somebody new follows you. So you're really likely to check their account and see what they're about. And if they're about something that you're about, there's a good chance you're going to follow them back. So it's a tried and true marketing method of getting your brand in front of other people's eyes. Is it ethical? I don't know. I think it's definitely spammy. I think it's very spammy. I think it's dishonest, and I hate it. But beyond being unethical or whatnot, I think that it's harmful to your account. When you play the follow-unfollow game, you don't get engaged audience members. You get people that are following you because you followed them. And so your engagement levels on your account is going to suffer big time. And I've seen this happen a lot in the industry. People that play the follow-unfollow game just don't have engagement on their accounts. And what's the point of having 100,000 followers if nobody sees your photos? The other big harm to this is every single person in the world can see if you're playing this game. If you're playing this game, you're probably following 3,000-4,000 people, and everybody sees regular humans don't follow 3,000-4,000 people. It's just not normal. Regular people like me follow 300 people. Regular people like Jody follow 300-400 people. That's how it works. And then on top of it, you can easily run an app like hypeauditor.com or Social Blade and find out if people are playing this game. So the harm is everybody knows you're doing this if you're doing it. The devil's advocate will say that, people's accounts have grown doing this. And again, it's just marketing. It's getting your brand in front of the eyes of other people. Have I done it? Yeah, I did it. Sorry. I did it for those 2 weeks that I ran the bot about 4 years ago, and I had the bot do it for me. And yeah, I would say that my account grew probably 1,000 people over those 2 weeks because of those methods. But I will also say that the likes and comments per photo that I was getting while I was doing that was not growing at all. The engagement just wasn't good. So I did it for 2 weeks, felt dirty, took a really long shower of pious. I took a pious shower and fixed myself. I absolved myself of all that and feel better because of it. The fourth method that people are using to game Instagram is engagement pods. And engagement pods are huge. Engagement pods took over Instagram for a span of 2 years. And I didn't know it. I had no idea. I was totally blind to it. What an engagement pod is you and 50 other people or 100 other people join a group. That group is usually on Telegram, which is an app, I guess. I've never used Telegram, but it's an app. And then the way it works is when I post a photo, Brendan's cat, every single person within that group likes and comments on the photo. Instagram's algorithm really leans towards engagement, and specifically engagement at the very start. So to enhance this engagement, what they do is everybody in the group posts at exactly the same time. So at 5 p.m., everybody in the group drops their photo, drops the link to their photo, and then within 15 or 20 minutes, everybody in the group comments and likes on that photo. That tells Instagram this post is engaging, and then it kicks it to the Explore page for real people's eyes to see in the Explore page. And then the theory is that people that don't know the account will see the photo, click on the photo, like the photo, follow the account. I feel stupid I didn't know that this was happening. I watched accounts grow massively and had no idea they were doing it until years later. I was on a press trip, and all these photographers, these Instagrammers that were there, they were working really hard. They were running around, shooting photos. They were just totally active all the time, running around shooting. Then at exactly, I think it was 6 p.m. then, exactly 6 p.m., all of them just stopped. They froze, they found a seat, and they had their heads in their phone for 30 minutes. And I know now that they were all podding. I know now that that's what they were doing. I watched those people in that group grow their accounts massively. Some of them were at 10, 15,000 at the time, are now at 250,000. And that's the devil's advocate to this, is it works. The devil's advocate is that new, fresh human eyes and real human eyes see the post. When it goes to the Explore page, when Instagram sees the engagement and pumps it to the Explore page, real people interested in that niche will see the photo. Real people will follow. And the devil's advocate is that the accounts that did this method 2 years ago up until recently, they grew faster than anybody else. The other devil's advocate to this is that only accounts with really good photos are actually growing. Because, of course, pushing to the Explore page isn't enough. People have to see that photo on the Explore page, go check out your account and follow. So if you're a terrible photographer, podding, it's not going to have any benefit. But if you have a really good account and you're podding, it will have a more positive effect. Is it ethical though? I don't think it is, and mostly for the fact that the vast majority of these people that are podding, they're doing so in order to make money from clients. They're selling their engagement to clients and to brands as advertising. And so you're telling a brand, I get 10,000 likes to a photo and 150 comments. So that's what you're selling, but 100 of those comments are fake or manipulated comments. You're essentially lying to the client. And honestly, I think that if the client finds out that they're in pods, they have grounds to terminate contracts and even sue. So I don't think it's ethical. I also think it's very dangerous to photographers. So have I done it? no, I've never done pods. I didn't know they existed. I don't have time to do pods. Yeah, I never use pods. But that being said, if I went back in time 4 years ago and I saw the way that people have grown using pods, I would be very hard pressed not to have tried it or done it, I think. Knowing what I know now, I don't think I would, but I would have definitely been tempted to do it. I should also mention that the use of pods has kind of been curtailed by Instagram's recent algorithm changes. They've changed the algorithm a lot to try to dissuade people from using pods, and I think it is working, and I do think that for the most part, a lot of these pods aren't having the same effect they did, let's say, a year ago. Number 5 is buying likes, comments, and follows, and if you do this, just stop doing it. There's no way that this is good. And I'm going to not explain this because it needs no explaining. You can go onto Fiverr.com and buy likes for, like a couple bucks. You can go onto Fiverr and buy followers for a couple bucks. You can buy follows, likes, and comments really, really, really easy. There's even subscription services on the internet that I've found that are about $50 a month or so, and they'll add 500 likes to every photo you post. It's very easy to do it, but they're not real. And if they're not real, what's the point? What are the benefits? I don't think there is any benefit. What's the harm? I think that the harm is that you could get your account blocked by Instagram. And the harm is you don't have real followers. So if a client pays you, finds out you're using fake likes and fake followers, they could sue you. And it's not ethical. So what would the devil's advocate say? And I thought for a while that there was no devil's advocate to this one, but there always is. The devil's advocate to this one is based on psychology. There's psychology that says people are more likely to follow an account that has a number of followers than they are a small account. So if you put 2 accounts that are identical beside each other, both phenomenal photography, phenomenal content, one has 600 followers and one has 60,000 followers, people are more likely to follow the account that has a lot of followers to no followers. So there's people in the industry that say things like buy your first 10,000 followers on Instagram so that people follow your account, so real people follow your account. I don't think you should do that. Don't do that, but that's what the devil would say. Finally, the last one is paying for shoutouts. Basically how it works is if I have my account, Brendan's Cat, and I want to post my images on big cat Instagrams, some of the big accounts were accepting money for shoutouts. So I could pay, say, $50, $100 to Cats of Instagram, and then they would post my photo being like, epic cat photo by Brendan Vanson, go follow his account. And years ago, that was really helpful. A lot of people, got a lot of followers doing that. I didn't even know it was possible years ago. And does it work? Well, yeah, it used to work. It definitely used to work, but I don't think it does anymore. I'll give you an example. 4 years ago, I was doing an assignment for Travel Alberta. They had about 150, 200,000 followers. When they posted one of my photos, it would say, photo of Lake Louise by Brendan Vanson. I would instantly get 150, 200, even up to 300 followers just from one shout out. About 2 years ago, I did another project with Travel Alberta. Their account had doubled or tripled, so they have like 500,000 followers or something crazy now. And when they shouted out one of my photos, I'd get 2 or 3 followers. I really honestly think that people aren't gaining follows from shoutouts anymore. That's why I don't think that people should be allowing these big share accounts to share their photos anymore, because they're not getting anything out of it anymore. I think that people are done following people. I think people follow enough people now, and that the only way they're going to follow somebody new is if it's really specific to what they want to follow, or it's something really unique they haven't seen before. So yeah, I don't think the shout out thing works anymore. Is it ethical? Yeah, absolutely. I think it's totally ethical. I think that it's the same as, buying ads on Facebook or a newspaper or TV or whatever. It's advertising. And finally, have I done it? No, I've never done this ever, because back in the day when it was effective, I had no money and I didn't know it existed. I think that if I had money and I knew it existed back then, I definitely would have done it. I think that it was a very valid way of growing your account. I think it was a very good way of growing your account. And now that I do have enough money in my business that I probably could invest in something like this, I just don't think it works anymore like it used to. So I don't invest any money in it. And that's it. That's it. You guys have no idea how many times I've filmed this. I think this is my 4th time filming it. I've always had technical issues every single time I did it. So I feel relieved that I'm done. And if you guys are interested in hypeauditor.com, stay until the end of this video. I'm going to talk about it really quickly. If you're not interested, you can feel free to go. But before you go, don't forget to subscribe, because I am going to put together a massive video about how you can grow your Instagram authentically. Right now, I still think it's totally possible to grow an authentic audience on Instagram. I'm going to show you guys how. So stay tuned to the channel for that reason. And also because we're about to do some fun stuff. We're road tripping in South Africa, Botswana, up to Zambia. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be wildlife photography. There's going to be landscape photography, and it's just going to be fun. So be sure to subscribe. And I guess that's it. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Okay, guys, this is Hype Auditor. I've literally just stuffed my my own username into this system here, and it's going to give us all this information. I'm going to start just scrolling right down here to audience quality score. When I was running a bunch of people, and basically I ran all my friends, I ran some Instagrammers I knew that were cheating, I ran some people that I knew were potting, and I ran everybody. What it seemed like is anybody that had a score over 80 was 100% legit. Anybody that had a score of 70 to 80 had some issues. Maybe they just had a weak engagement. Maybe they had an old channel, or maybe they were potting or stuff like that. And then people under 50 were people that have definitely bought followers before. So this number is actually a pretty good metric. Anything around 75 plus is probably a pretty good score. It shows you your demographic. It shows you your audience type. The other thing I found running this through a bunch of tests is that 70% real people and influencers is a good number. I haven't ever found an account that has this number higher than 80%, which means that everybody has suspicious accounts and everybody has mass followers attached to their account. But you can't stop bots from following you. You can't stop people that are playing the follow-unfollow game from following you. The people that are on the mass followers are accounts that follow more than 1,500 people. It doesn't mean that they're all follow-unfollowers. It's just really hard to reach people when they're following 1,500 people. So it doesn't really count them as quality followers. Suspicious accounts, my number jumped massively this week. Last time I ran this test, I was at a 94, and this was somewhere like 10%. And I did notice a jump in my account, and I thought it was legit. But now I'm starting to wonder how many bots have started following my account since it's been verified. So that's interesting that that's jumped. But as I said, I'm not concerned about this, because what I've found is anybody with over 70% combined here is a very, very legit account. Reachability is good. Authenticity is good, as we saw. Pattern of growth. You can see back here, this is basically showing where I was following people. And then you can see here is where I decided to play that follow-unfollow game here. You can see that spiking up and down. See that right there? I was following and unfollowing for a couple weeks there. Yeah, that's when it was going on. And you can actually see that they've detected that I was playing the follow-unfollow game more than 12 months ago. So it can detect that even if it's a really long time ago. My engagement rate is excellent. When you see engagement rates, the norm on Instagram is about 3%, 2%. I'm going to run an account, and I'm going to blur out the name of this person and the profile picture, because I don't want people to find out who this is. But it was a friend of mine that told me to run their account because they were sure they were using some sort of system. I also want to mention that they're actually an ambassador to all this gear. They're a Nikon ambassador. They have the I Am Official Nikon logo. They're ambassadors to f-stop, Oberworth, Stellar Stories, Nissi Filters. Yeah, so they're official ambassadors, likely being paid by at least 5 different brands. The images are good. I'm going to run their profile first, and then I'll show you some stuff really quick. And here they come up. And check this out. Right away, we can see that though they have 171,000 followers, the quality of their engagement is extremely low. They've got a score of 47, which is horrific. Their audience is made up mostly of influencers. They've got a lot of real followers, real people, but look at how many influencers. So a huge number of influencers, 45,000 followers are influencers. That means people that follow them are, they're huge Instagram accounts, which raises some red flags right away. All of this stuff reads at average. They're actually losing some followers. Their account is losing some followers right now, which to me tells me that perhaps they were buying followers at some point, because really accounts don't lose that many followers right now. They might plateau a little bit, but to lose like 50, 60, 100 followers a day, that shows something suspicious. We can see this pattern of following here is pretty normal. It doesn't look like they were following at all. Engagement rate is extremely low. And the comment authenticity, check this out, could be improved. One of my buddies that mentioned this account said, this guy is definitely podding, playing the system, maybe even buying followers. And if you check this out, it says, could be improved. Most of the recent comments might come from accounts that participate in pods. Over the past 30 days, they've had 30 ads on their Instagram account. That means that they've had 13 times that somebody has paid them money to run ads on their Instagram account, despite the fact that all of their, or a lot of their comments come from pods. So I'm going to scroll down through this account, again, blurring the names of things. But if you look at this, you can tell right away this person's using pods. Look at this, 1,800 likes and 165 comments. That means that every 10th person that saw this photo decided to comment. That's just not legit. Go to another one, 3,245 likes, 270 comments. That means, again, almost 1 in 10 people that have seen this photo, liked this photo, had to have commented. That's extremely high. 2,000 likes, 200 comments. 2,000 likes, 200 comments. It's just, that's not legit. That's not what an account does. If we go to my Instagram account, which I don't pod because I'm extremely, extremely lazy, this is one of the most engaged photos I've had in a really long time. It's got 4,000 likes, so twice as many as his 20, and only 80 comments. 40 of those comments are me replying to the comment saying thank you or something like that. So legitimately 1 in 100 people comment on an engaging photo. Let's go to, this is an extremely engaging photo, extremely engaging. 4,000 likes, 56 comments, 1 in 100. Probably my most liked photo of all time, 5,600 likes and 133 comments. It just shows that, yeah, this dude's definitely podding. But Hype Auditor is an interesting tool. You can use it to check people and figure out if they're cheating or maybe not cheating, but gaming the system. And yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed that. I will see you guys on the next episode. Peace.